Hello and welcome. My name is Tejal. My pronouns are she and they. I'm coming to you today from the Tongva, Chumash, and Kitch lands, colonially known as Los Angeles, California, for our practice of Summery Vinyasa. And this practice today will require you to not just move in your practice today, but also spend some time listening. I have a poem I'd like to read later, and then offer up time for us to do a creative writing practice. So as you move through your practice, start to pay attention to what your body is telling you and what your mind is telling you. See if you can balance your attention between both, if possible. And no matter where you are in your practice, take your time with how you move through. Take your time with listening to what your body is telling you, as well as listening to what your mind is sharing. Neither one needs to be more important than the other. Offering yourself acceptance of what comes up for you. So as you're seated, go ahead and find yourself in a more comfortable position and start to breathe in a way that lifts you up out of your hips and brings your head to a place that is right on top of the body. You might start to close down the eyes if you feel comfortable where you are. And if you feel comfortable closing the eyes, start to drop the lower body down even more. And notice with the natural breath what is showing up. A challenge to the breath, an ease to the breath. Noticing that. And just accepting it for where you are right now. In the practice of yoga, we can come to it at any point in our life, and we can come back to it at any point. Of course, our experiences change us, and the way we move through the world is different at different points. So then the way the practice will feel or be accessible to us will also change. It's a part of our natural evolution. It's a part of our natural growing up. So offer yourself a bit of acceptance for the way things are showing up for you. And I'll share with you this reminder of the Yoga Sutras. Yoga Sutra 1.1 offers us the reminder that now begins the practice of yoga, even now. This is a reminder that every moment that is passing is a moment of now. So even if this moment you weren't consciously considering how yoga is a part of your life, the next moment is an opportunity for that. How you might move through the world with a view that is non-harming, non-judgmental, and non-reactive. Another Yoga Sutra, Sutra 130, is a reminder that even with dedicated, consistent practice, obstacles will be there. That just because we practice daily or practice often, practice in a really firm way, does not mean obstacles will be removed. It simply means we might be better equipped when obstacles arrive. So knowing that there is no sense of perfection, there is simply practice. Let's start our practice with the mantra or chant of Om 3 times. You might listen, you might join in, bringing hands together in front of the heart, an Anjali Mudra, a gesture of offering. Let's chant Om to honor our interconnectedness, the sameness in all beings. Inhale to begin. Release the hands, drop the head. Take a moment to notice how you're feeling in this part of our practice, and if anything has changed since when you came to practice as a result of this practice. And carry with you what you wish to carry. On your inhale, arms raise. Exhale, arms go wide and down. Slowly, 2 more times, starting to wake up the arms and the shoulders, moving with the breath. You can breathe through the mouth or the nose. Through the nose is a heated breath, which might be necessary where you are. Through the mouth can be a more cooling option, also a more drying option. After that third time, your left hand stays down. Inhale your right arm up and over. And as you side bend, try to keep both bottom of the hips down. Release the hand out to the side in front of you, and then just walk your way over. All the way to the other side. Briefly lift your right arm. And exhale, release it down. Walking all the way back to where you started. Inhale, right arm up and left arm up. Exhale, both arms wide and down. Other side, right hand down, side bending. Inhale your left arm up. Let's walk all the way in that circle to the other side. Breathing in, right arm up, and breathing out, right arm down. Walking back to where you started. Inhale, your left arm up, right arm follows. Exhale, both arms wide and down. Good. Take a moment to walk your hands forward, breathing in. Stretch your hips back, reach your arms forward, and try to relax your shoulders at the same time. Deep breath. Hips and hands. Deep breath out. One more breath in and out. Good. Slowly start to walk your hands back, and then finally take a twist to your left. You can bring your right hand to your left knee and your back hand close behind you. Sitting up tall, breathe in and twist. One more breath in and twist. Good. Change directions. Other side. And if there's anywhere you want to stay and settle into, you're welcome to it. Stay and settle in. You can always catch up with me later. Beautiful. So let's move on to hands and knees. And from hands and knees, just a few cat-cows to bring one more set of direction into the spine as you inhale, arch the back. And as you exhale, round the spine. Hug in, navel to sky, palms press down. Inhale, arch and round. Exhale, hug the belly to sky. Inhale, arch. Opening up the chest, lifting head on top of body. And exhale, round, hug in, hug in. Take a moment to bring toes together, sitting back. Knees can go as wide apart as you like. Deep breath in. Exhale, maybe forehead melts to the ground. Try to keep the hips heavy as you sit back in child's pose or balasana. Deepening the breath. From here, we'll add some movement coming up to tabletop, bringing the knees again right under hips, ankles right back behind the knees. Take a moment to sit back, hips to heels. On your inhale, come into plank position. So you might walk the hands forward to shift the body forward, lift the knees and hips to plank. Exhale, lower the knees, sit back. Inhale back to plank. Maybe 2 to 3 more times. So using that to warm up in the shoulders, in the feet. Bringing navel to spine. And once more. When you're ready, tuck the toes, take a downward facing dog, upside down V, and just notice what's happening in the back of your legs, in your shoulders, palms pressing to earth and arms as well. Soft lift of the sits bones, soft bend in the knees. When you're ready, start to walk your way forward, folding over your legs. Head hangs heavy. Slowly unroll, come all the way up to stand. Roll your shoulders up, back, around, and down. And then we'll practice Surya Namaskar. So taking our time, inhale, arms forward and up, checking in with the body, but also checking in with the mind. Exhale, forward fold, soft bend in your knees as you come to tap the mat or the floor. Inhale, right foot back, maybe the knee lowers down, and the arms can come to front leg or all the way up. So try to keep that balance. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping back, hips up and back. Soft bend in the knees, elbows, and relaxed in the hips. Shift forward to plank, deep breath. And as you exhale, lower knees, chest and chin, all the way to the ground. Inhale forward, heart rises, tops of feet down, low cobra. Exhale, hips back and up, downward facing dog. On your inhale, right foot forward, back knee down, soft landing if you can. Arms might raise. Explore the balance you have here, the reach. When you're ready, hands to mat, step forward, forward fold, exhaling. Deep breath, reach forward, rise up. Back bend if you like. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release the arms. That's half of one cycle. Other side, inhale, arms raise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left foot back, lower the knee. Arms might come up, finding that balance and stability, hugging legs together. Hands to mat, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Option to hold plank, or you might take knees, chest, chin as you exhale. Inhale, slide forward. Heart rises, tops of feet down for low cobra. And exhale, hips up and back, shifting through to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, soft, rising up through your lunge position. And exhale, hands to mat, step forward to fold. Head hangs heavy. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, hands to heart, release the arms. Take a breath and notice what's coming up for you. This is your first full round of Surya Namaskar. Deepen the breath. Deepen the press of the feet into the ground. So noticing your physical connection. Also noticing what's going on in your mind. If you can try to explore it from a distance. And for today's practice, take the arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. So part of vinyasa practice is to place in a special way. Vinyasa means to place in a special way. Vinyasa means special placement. And so as you explore what it means, take your time, deepening the breath, noticing the back of the legs, not trying to fix anything, just trying to be with it as it is. Head hangs heavy. When you're ready, release the arms. Slowly unroll, come all the way up to stand. Roll your shoulders up, back, around, and down. Inhale the arms up and overhead. And then as you step your left foot back and wide and turn your feet. So just coming into a wide-legged stance. That's right. Breathing in, feet wide. Exhale, forward fold. Head hangs heavy. You can walk your feet even wider. Maybe your hands are on the ground. Start to shift the weight a little more into your heels, feeling that physical body response. And then even more into your feet and toes. And then balance out. Slowly, slowly, when you're ready, turn your left foot to the back. We'll take a circle and then step your right foot to meet, coming into a forward fold from a low position. Now from here, see if you can stay low, fingers to the earth, hips lifting, soft bend in the knees, but head dropping. And just being in this practice of folding and releasing, noticing, not fixing. When you're ready, unroll, come all the way up to stand. And let's finish our folds. One more time, arms raised, left foot lifts and steps back, pivoting Maybe back bend and then forward fold once again. Widen the stance, drop the head, drop the gaze, deepen the breath. Notice how your breath is now. Check in. Have there been any changes? Maybe due to the position of your body. Maybe there's a lot of focus on what's happening in the mind. Pulling back, if possible, to mind-body. When you're ready, one more time, turning left foot forward and take that step forward. So starting point, once again. Walk the hands up the legs, hands to hips, feet apart. Start to circle out the hips. And notice your intention for this time in your life. Maybe it's for the summer season. Maybe it's just the way you want to move for the next, time together. But have you been thinking about that? Has it come into your practice? So if the goal is to move with a vigor, has that shown up? If the goal is to move and be present and slow and steady, has that shown up? And see if you can invite that intention into the rest of your practice. So coming to stand tall, hands can stay on the hips. Let's go ahead and step left foot about 2 to 3 feet back. You'll know you've gone too far when your back heel starts to lift. If you go so far you can't even put the heel down, then you're too far. So back heel down, toes slightly out, but front foot facing forward. Hands on the hips helps you to notice where the hips are in space. You want to try to find both hips pointing forward. And instead of both hips pointing down, see if you can squeeze in your back leg, squeeze in your front hip, right hip, and see if you can bring the hips neutral. Notice all the activation in your back leg. If you can, take the arms up. And if balance is tricky, you might widen your feet apart. Keep hugging the feet together, soft bend in the front knee, and trying to work so that the hips face forward rather than turn to the back left. Deepen the breath. When you're ready, melt and fold. So finding yourself in this pyramid pose, noticing back foot, noticing front foot. You might hop the back foot back more if there's space for that, and you can still hug that hip forward. You might even play with turning that back foot forward and hugging the hips in towards one another. Continue the breath. Notice where the sensation of stretch is coming from in the legs. Try not to hold tension in other parts of the body as you're practicing. Softening in the shoulders, in the front head and neck. One more breath. When you're ready, softly bend both knees and step your left foot forward. Unroll, come all the way to stand. Shoulders roll up, back, around and down. You might sway side to side in this pyramid, just noticing what's showing up for you. Great. And when you're ready, it's the other side. So hands to hips. And the idea is left foot stays forward, right foot slides back. Now, before you even fold, start to notice the hips in space. Is one side reaching back or forward more? See if you can lift up, open up. Deepen the breath, arms raised. Keeping the hips aligned with one another. Of course, they're going to tip. Let's see if you can do it at the same side, left and right side. Now, as you fold, you might need to adjust the stance for your comfort and ease. And see if you can start to settle in. If you do this, outside of this class, it might be nice to have a block or two for your hands or a chair to support the folds. You don't always have to go down so low that you touch the floor. Just be in the breath, both knees a little bent. Trying not to overly fix your focus on your body, also on your breathing, and not just on thoughts. In the practice of yoga, we really want to come to it thinking of the different relationships we're tapping into, not just the one that we feel to ourselves, but also the relationship we're cultivating with those around us, every day, every interaction. Also with the society and community that we're a part of, with our presence, with our focus. Also with the environment and nature. And so let the practice be a practice of balance and finding your way in all these relationships. Stepping back foot forward when you're ready. Slowly from folded, come up to unfolded. Inhale the arms up. Maybe the thumbs hook as you lift the chest. Goal here in a back bend is to get really tall and long and then back bend any amount. You don't want to back bend at the expense of the length of our back. Start to find your mountain pose, your Tadasana, feet on the earth, head on top of body, slightly soft in the knees, palms face in or forward. In this posture, check back in. Was this last group of movement focused on intention or infused with intention without even consciously pairing it? See if that's possible to do going forward. Remind yourself that you can move with intention. From standing, come into chair, sitting back, Utkatasana, hips into the space behind you, heels rooted down, and the arms and upper body counterbalancing. One more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. See if you can wing your arms back, but still keep the spine long. On your next breath in, reach the arms forward. Turning on what you need to turn on to stay here. Soft bend in the knees. Long spine, chin in. And exhale, release. Come into a squat. So in the yoga practice, the squat is pretty low if you can access that. It's anywhere until that place. So come into your malasana and bring the hands to heart center. And then with your malasana, really start to sit upright so that knees are connecting just to the tops of your elbows. Elbows are connecting just to the tops of your knees. Now, in Malasana, the practice really is one of feet together, knees apart, and then reaching back to clasp hands. Now, that type of range comes with practice, but also comes with ability, physical ability. And not all bodies are able to take these types of shapes. So just noticing that for yourself, where you want to take your Malasana. And how can this practice not just give you a better insight into the relationship you have with yourself, your mind, and your body, but also free you up to focus on the relationship that you have with your environment, the community around you, the people you interact with? How can you spend these next few moments reflecting on what intention you want to bring to those relationships? You can go ahead and start to sit back, feet in front of you, and then holding the legs in, if it's possible for you, start to rock and roll forward and back. If it's too much movement, you can, of course, take it out and just roll back and stay. Otherwise, it's kind of a nice massage if there's no crunching or pain. And after a few of those rolls, you can just slowly come to land, lying on your back. Drop the knees to the side and the other side. And then let's take a moment with knees into chest. Right peace fingers, so pointer and middle finger. Go ahead, grab your right big toe and send that foot into space. So leg doesn't have to straighten here, but if your leg does straighten, that's fine. If your leg stays bent, that's fine. Your left leg can come out of the way, and you can just start to play with waving that leg around in space. Maybe side to side feels nice, or in circles, or you just want to stay where you are. Wherever you end up for these next few breaths, try not to stress out any other part of the body, like the shoulder or the neck or the head. And you can slowly release that. Take the other side. Exploring what feels available, not comparing it to the other side, just knowing that you have different sides of your body, different ways you use your legs, your arms. And so the sensations will be different. Coming back to your intention for this period of your life, and can you bring that into your practice as a complement? Maybe in order to feel more present, you have to move a lot of energy out of your body. And so that looks like preparation with speed and vigor. Maybe the practice needs to align with the practice you have already. Slowly, when you're ready, release that foot. Side to side with your legs. Knees in, give yourself a hug and a squeeze. You might come up to kiss the tops of the knees. In gratitude for your ability to practice in this way. Continue to make any movements that help you to come down to the earth. When you're ready, extend the legs. Bring the arms down beside you. And think about all the factors that have led you to this moment, all the choices, and then that final decision you made. Noticing what led you here and letting go of whatever is expected to come out of this space. Moving away from reaching any type of goal or feeling perfect about our choices, and moving towards practice, practicing kindness and practicing acceptance. Begin to notice your breathing. If there's anything you can do to make yourself more comfortable. And when you're ready, you might start to step your feet onto the ground and drop the knees one side to the other, knees all the way left, rolling your body left. Take your time to come up to a seated posture. And as you come up to seated, just letting yourself settle into your thoughts. If you have something to write on and something to write with, you might want to grab that. And notice how your environment might have shifted and changed. Notice how you might feel differently than when you last checked in or when you started. So I'd like to read to you a short poem by Nikki Giovanni from their book of poetry called Chasing Utopia. Nikki Giovanni is an amazing poet and writer that talks about their experiences of being just a community member. So the poem I'd like to read to you, and I'll read it a few times, is called I Give Easily. And as I read it to you, you might start to take notes around what it is that you relate to and what that you're struck by when you hear. Thinking about the relationships that the yoga practice reminds us of, the one you have with yourself, the one you have with those around you, the one you have with your community, and the one you have with your environment. So this poem is called I Give Easily. I give easily because I have easily taken. It's incredibly difficult to let people give you what you need, maybe as difficult as giving you what you want. Interactions with and between humans can certainly be complicated. It's a short exchange around relationship to self and relationship to others and a complex nature. So I'll read it again. I give easily. I give easily because I have easily taken. It's incredibly difficult to let people give you what you need, maybe as difficult as giving you what you want. Interactions with and between humans can certainly be complicated. So, one final time, and then just some minutes with your own thoughts. There's essentially three to four phrases in this poem. So I'll say them again really slowly. I give easily because I have easily taken. It's incredibly difficult to let people give you what you need. Maybe as difficult as giving you what you want. Interactions with and between humans can certainly be complicated. And again, the title of this poem is called I Give Easily. So let's take a few minutes to just jot any notes, any thoughts that are coming up for you. And we'll spend about 5 minutes in that practice. And you might take a moment to just finish up whatever it is you're writing. If you'd like to share, you're welcome to share. For me, I ended up writing another poem, kind of like as a reflection to this poem about how do you feel resourced? So, how do you feel like you have what you need to give and take? And then, how does that affect really the way you move forward? So, it's a combination of this poem and then reflecting on Sutra 130, where the obstacles will be there. Even if we are really good at what we're doing, there will always be obstacles. So, what do we do in working with those obstacles? Or how do we? And that question ultimately for me comes back to resources, but not just resources, but feeling like you have enough within you or outside of you to be able to handle that. And and ultimately the question is knowing if that source is within you or outside of you. And if you're interested, you might just take a moment to sit up once again and bring your hands together, taking a moment to find gratitude in this offering, this gesture of offering to yoga, its teachings, our teachers, and all those who came before us that continue to keep this pathway available. Take a moment to find gratitude for yourself, for being able to show up just as you are, with life just as it is. And I invite you to take a moment of gratitude for this land and its bounty, for your ancestors and the indigenous stewards who have walked these lands. Let's take a moment of silence here for all those whose history, struggle, oppression, and unwilling sacrifice has occurred on these lands. May we work to repair harm and end suffering in all beings. And let's conclude with a mantra of Om and Shanti 3 times, offering of peace. Inhale to begin. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for your practice. And thank you so, so much for allowing me to share mine with you.